So I had to cut down some trees and stuff. And Tim Tam's here too.
Hey there, welcome to a Thursday edition of Collection Connection, the game that's just an excuse to talk about music. Now, on Eric's last move, he gave me Lazaretto by Jack White. Kind of the exact opposite to him. I'm more familiar with White Stripes and less familiar with solo work or raconteurs. So I listened to it. Sounded pretty on brand to me. I like what he does, but he's not necessarily. I don't know. I don't feel like there's a ton of variation there that strikes me as notably different. But there were some interesting aspects of the album, and I thought, boy, wouldn't it be cool? About half of the album was recorded with an all-female backing band. And I thought, boy, that's unusual. Couldn't that be a cool connection? A male-fronted, otherwise all-female band, and it would be so unusual that I could not exactly, I couldn't find another example of it. So I went a different direction, and in 2014, Lazaretto was number 8 on Billboard's year-end rock albums chart. And so I looked around to find some other, to see if I had anything else in surrounding years, and it turns out that in 2011, Foster the People's Torches, the album that featured Pumped Up Kicks, famously, was also number 8 in Billboard's year-end rock albums. And I had a fair amount to say about Foster the People, at least to get me through my 5 minutes. And as I pulled out my camera to film this episode, I realized that I don't actually have a physical copy of that album. I only have it downloaded. And I could have sworn after 10 years that I had a physical copy of it, and this game is about sharing what is in our physical collections. So everything I had prepped was bust. And because I've left it to do on Thursday, the day that this video is supposed to come out, didn't have a ton of time to research much else. And I didn't have anything else that it was number 8 on Billboard's year-end rock charts. But Lazaretto also was number 7 on Billboard's year-end alternative albums chart. Now, I looked through several years of that, and I would take issue greatly with what they define as alternative, and there was a lot of overlap actually with what was on the year-end rock albums. But I would say, I'm fumbling my way through this, but in 2018, I did have another album that ended up at number 7 on Billboard's year-end alternative charts. And before knocking it down here by accident, it is Woodstock by Portugal the Man, which is ironic a little bit because I think of Feel It Still, the song that probably should have been called Rebel Just for Kicks. In a lot of ways makes me think of Pumped Up Kicks, because it's slightly outside of my wheelhouse. It was kind of a pop hit that caught my ear, and ironically I think this is maybe a stronger album for me overall than the Foster the People album. In both cases, I was drawn in initially by the well-known hit, but ended up cottoning to a secondary song. On the Foster the People, it was Houdini, and on this one it is Rich Friends, I believe, which I don't see. Oh, there we are. Yeah, it was called Rich Friends. But both albums were sort of short-lived in my listening consciousness, my rotation, as you will. And so, with no time to research anything and other things going on today, I got you an album that I got squat really to say about. It's not bad. They've had a ton of albums. I know Portugal the Man, unlike Foster the People, which was their first album, Torches. This is an album that's been a band that's been around for a good long time, and just kind of fluked into a big hit with that song whose name I mentioned earlier, Feel It Still. And so, anyway, that's my connection. Number 7 on Billboard's year-end alternative albums chart. 2014 for Lazaretto and 2018 for Portugal the Man, Woodstock. Even though the album came out in 2017, it was in 2018 that it made the charts. So anyway, there you go. 2017, Portugal the Man, Woodstock. I will pass that for connection onto you. Sorry about the rush nature of it. One of these weeks I'm actually going to get these things done in a timely manner, in a leisurely manner, and it's going to be fun instead of kind of a headache. So hopefully it'll be next week. We'll see. Eric's response, I'm playing this back and forth with my brother Eric, Plastic Eric from the Plastic Soundwave Cult. His response should come on Monday. So we'll look for that then. And anybody else who was watching, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.